man that knows the cap, bonuses and all of that. He's the one that gets you cut. Front office, so don't give a word. He's the guy who knows the law. Can't put him against the wall. He's the guy with all the answers. Matt and Sugar's battle dancers. Front office, knows it all. Front office,
Brought to you by De Los Vodka. When the Braves games get started, Matt, it'll be me and a little bit of De Los and soda. When the Spurs season comes to an end tonight, it'll be me and De Los Vodka. So when you tweet me to take your shot at me, just know I'm going to be filled with De Los and ready to fight you.
Are you talking to me or the listener?
No, just to you.
I'm not going to. Why would I tweet you? The Warriors were better than you from the beginning. What am I going to do with that?
I know, but you like to indulge in these painful things that the rest of us experience.
I really don't anymore. Nobody will ever top me for pain in one of these, so what do I have to say to anybody else?
De Los Vodka,
Jerks.
in case you ever have Matt level of pain. All right, so one of the things that's always out there, and we've now drawn this line in people's minds, if you're a certain age, then LeBron James can do no wrong. And if he has an off game, that's fine. If you're a certain age, your comparison always is Michael Jordan, and that LeBron will never be Michael Jordan. And look what Michael would never do what happened last night to LeBron James. Okay, what I'm going to tell you is each one of you, as you back into your corners, you get ready to fight each other again over stuff that is so incredibly nutty because you're both right and you're both totally wrong. All right, let me start with this. During MJ's 6 championship seasons, I've got them. The first 3 from 90 to 93 and then the back half from 95 to 98. This is what he averaged in the playoffs. 31, 34, 35, 30, 31, 32. Great player. Absolutely outstanding.
Yep.
What I decided to use was John Hollinger's game score. And what John Hollinger does is he takes all the factors in a basketball game. What you rebounded, what you assisted on, how many turnovers you had, how much you were able to score, what your efficiency was in that game. Did it take you 30 shots to get 30 points, or did it take you 14 shots to get it? All of these things are put into game score so that a volume score is not rewarded under this idea. Let me give you this. Last night, LeBron James, his game score was a 3, basically, a 3.5. It's as ugly as it gets. Michael Jordan, during his time, 1991, the playoffs, game score of 13. 1992, game score of 6. That was against the New York Knicks, where he went 9 out of 25.
All right.
You then also have, in 93, they beat Cleveland. He had a game score of 13. Again, 8 out of 18 shooting, and wasn't really a big factor anywhere else, but they still won. In 96 against Seattle, 9.8. That's when he was 6 of 19 from the field and shot 0 of 4 from three-point. 97, you have something similar. 7.7 against Utah in one of the finals games. So these games do happen to these guys. But here's where I think game score gives us a really good impression of who these two players are. If you get anywhere near 40 in a game score, you had a amazing game. 35 and over, and you're a pretty good player. You're a big factor. 10 points is average. That's why it was so bad out of LeBron last night. If you were to take the 6-year playoff run for Michael Jordan, 6 times over those 6 years, he posted a game score of 35+. Outstanding. 6 times in those 6 playoff runs. LeBron James in just the last 2 years has already posted 5.
LeBron James.
And so you're talking about a player that ultimately is affecting the game more times than not just with scoring, but with the other things he's doing on the floor. Last night was terrible. Last night was absolutely terrible.
And what do you take out of it? Nothing.
Nothing. Because when anyone says, well, Michael would never do that, well, no, here's the numbers. Michael did do that too. It's just the fact that when you get upset that LeBron only scored 22 points, well, also he grabbed 13 rebounds and he had another 7 or 8 assists. You can't just go strictly off of points and say, Michael never did that. Michael always scored.
I love to watch the LeBron-Michael arguments, and I sit back with popcorn, and I look at both sides act the fool, because neither one of them is right, neither one of them is wrong. They're just so emotionally invested in a side. What we act like we were doing now is that we never questioned Michael. And Michael, because it was a different era without social media and the amount of media that we have today, in his time, he took a lot of criticism the way LeBron does. And he took the criticism for not being, I don't know, Magic or Larry, right? Or not being whoever the great player was that you wanted to compare him to. There'll never be a great answer to this one. I would be fascinated to hear what talent evaluators, if they could have a pick between the two at 27 years old, who they would start their team with. I have a hard time picking anybody else but LeBron, only because no body has ever been put together with a skill set to go along with that.
At 6'8", 255, 260.
Michael's the greatest player I've ever seen, but nobody's ever had a body and a skill set like LeBron because he's impossible to stop when he, and I'm not giving you just one bad night, I'm talking on the whole, he's impossible to stop. So you guys beat each other up trying to figure out who's better, and I'll sit back and watch both sides.
That's front office Los.
I love it. I love the LeBron-Michael thing. They're such different players, skill sets, body type, style of play. Remember when LeBron used to get criticized because he didn't take over games scoring enough? He wasn't assertive enough in people's minds?
He won't shoot it at the end.
But you remember why Kobe was criticized? He was too assertive. He wouldn't get others involved. We're always going to do one or the other when it's Michael as the comparison. I would much sooner make a Kobe relationship to Michael because of the style than the LeBron.
It's a size, too.
And I also won't compare LeBron to Magic. If you want to give me the size, it's fine. LeBron scores, to me, much more than Magic ever looked to score. It's just a different thing. It's a, LeBron, so everybody used to say Michael or Magic could go for 31 a night. I don't know if Magic had enough of a jump shot because he could get wherever he wanted on the floor, but he had one of the funkier-looking jump shots you'll ever see. I don't know that he could have scored 30 a night if he really put his mind and heart to it, but I don't think he ever wanted to. That wasn't going to be his game.
I think that we can always just say there are certain guys that are such physical freaks that making the comparison, you may never ever see another 7'1", 300-pound guy who can move like Shaq. I mean, it's so incredible. You'll never see another Wilt who can move at his size. And LeBron is on that physical freak stature where any comparison, find me another 6'8", 260-pound guy who can move and handle the ball like that.
If you're criticizing any part of LeBron's game at this point anymore, you're just searching. I mean, you really are. If you are, I want you to tell me legitimately what you're criticizing about LeBron's game today. And I hate to go to the hater thing, but I don't know what other way what is there to criticize? He had a bad night. Oh well.
You had
it happens. Michael had it happen too. They all did.
You had it 5 or 6 years ago.
Not anymore.
It's gotten to the point now where you just say, all right.
You sit back and you watch greatness, and you appreciate the greatness while it's here.